Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So this video I wanted to talk about, it was a quote that I heard recently from a YouTuber, which this guy is pretty comical, but a lot of the information he shares in his quick clips I wouldn't say it's relatable, it's just one of those things like either you know someone or you know someone who actually fits that mold when it comes to the examples that he actually has given in his videos. The name of the YouTuber, his name on there is Thrax TV, and it's BOONATHRAXXTV. Definitely look him up if you guys don't know who I'm talking about. What's funny is because I really think of this guy kind of like a comedian in his own way. And the stuff that he says is like quick one-liners, and it'd be just like off the wall stuff that you don't see coming, you wouldn't expect him to say, and it's hilarious. And as I mentioned, when you hear some of the one-liners, it's just like you can't help but think of like someone you know that was like that, or it's just one of those things when you hear it's just kind of like he's dropping knowledge, I guess you could say, if you will, like street knowledge, if you will, but it's comical in its own way, which is what tickles me. There was a line that he said in one of his videos not too long ago, and it stood out to me like very strongly, and I honestly could not agree more. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in on about that line. Now I'm gonna read the line word for word verbatim, but the way I would say it would be a little differently. So the way he worded it, he says, "I'm not going to wait for the tables to turn. I'm going to flip that bitch." I didn't want to say the word. I try not to curse in my videos, you guys, but sometimes it just rolls. So you gotta bear with me, okay? So I really like that though, because that's just like straightforward and to the point. What I meant to say is not don't beat around the table, but don't beat around the bush. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Don't beat around the bush, okay? So I really love that quote right there, because it just really means that, you have to put action to focus here. Actions speak louder than words. If you truly are about getting things done or about that action, do it. Don't be a talker, make it happen. So I really think that this is something that can be applied in a lot of aspects of one's life, not only in terms of work, but also in terms of what you do in your day-to-day with family, friends, and such. Often, like I talk about in my videos, but I love the way he had delivered it, because it's true. A lot of times people talk about things they want to accomplish and they say, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. But what have you done to actually get that ball going? What have you done to really get the ball rolling? Think about that. It's great to say all these great things about what you're looking to accomplish and whatnot, or what you want to manifest into your life. But what are you doing action-wise? And for those who are, believers in the word, oftentimes you think about that verse where you say faith without works is dead, right? So, when you think about it even from the biblical text, from the biblical side of the spectrum, even in that regard, it's great to say things that you want to accomplish. It's great to be able to pray to God about what things you're looking to come into your life. But if you're not putting in action to follow it, to put some type of effort into bringing it to fruition, then what's the point of doing all that? Think about it. It's just like saying, well, I want to be a millionaire someday, right? But it's great to speak it, but to be stagnant and do nothing is worthless. It's no point. You can't expect for things to come into existence unless you make it happen. You are truly the author, the editor, the executive chief, all that great stuff, the illustrator, you name it. You are truly that person. You're working in a cohesive form with Source, with God and the spiritual team, when you not only make it clear to them what you're looking to do, and still keeping your faith in them that they'll be able to do their part to help you along your journey. But at the same time, you too, my friend, have to be one to put in some action in some form or another to bring it to fruition a lot quicker. To be able to say it and pray on it and all that, or you know how some people like to, especially those in the spiritual space, love to tie in their potions and candles and all that, which is all fine and well. Just like with people who are religious, how they love to pray, you know, in hopes that it'll come to fruition. It's great for both sides to do that. Kudos. But to get to the nitty-gritty of it all, you too, my friend, need to be able to put in action. And it's going to take a lot more than lighting those candles and doing those potions as well as praying. It's going to take a lot more than just those things to make it come about. It's not a case of what, you know, one would think as far as one side trumps the other when it comes to bringing things to fruition. No, because each side, whether it's religious or spiritual, hear me out on this, each side, and people need to understand this going forward very well. Each side has a certain level of power because we're all human. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. So regardless of how you approach it, it can come to fruition. But at the same time, it's still going to require some action from you to make it come full circle. So in my opinion, I love the quote that Bunathrax TV had put out recently in his video. I really think that that quote hits home in its own little way. Again, one of the things I love about being in this space, outside of work, you know, of course, dealing with social media, one of the things I truly love is the fact that everyone has their own approach when it comes to getting a message out. You know, when it comes to like life lessons, things like that, just because you got to think about the type of audience you're dealing with. And again, you know, some people like it when you're just very straightforward to the point. Some people do like it when you curse here and there in your video. Some people may like it when you have more of a formal approach. You know, I'll use myself as an example. Like for me personally, like when I look at certain videos, I like it where I can kind of see a mixture of things, where there's people just having like real one-on-one conversations or who are a bit formal too. And, you know, even from my end, when I post my videos up here with you guys, I mix it up because some people love that sense of realness, right? And some people also love it when I'm more formal in my professional state. So it really just depends on what flows to you. So for me personally, you know, because I always like to keep it completely real, you know, but at the same time, I do so in various ways. Meaning, like, I might have a moment where I'm like, okay, when I'm doing this video, you know what? I'm gonna be more casual with my conversation today. Or I might have a moment where I'm like, you know what? I need to be a little bit more formal in my conversation, depending on the topic. You know, so I think the beautiful part about it all is that it's such a blend of people that truly appreciate it, regardless of which way you decide to take it when it comes to putting these videos up. And that's the part that I love most. And yeah, I would say in this case, I would just like to really hear you guys' thoughts in terms of the quote itself. Just in regards to the thought process itself in general, when it comes to putting in action and actually, instead of waiting for tables to turn, you decide you just want to, again, like he said, flip that bitch. Like, what are your thoughts about that? I honestly feel he's definitely onto something with that, and I couldn't agree more. You know, that's a code that I've always lived by in my own personal life. Like, you know, some people like myself, I'm sure there's others of you out there who agree. I like to always have my hands more involved when it comes to things pertaining to myself. So when it comes to making certain decisions, whether it's like a business decision, whether it's like with work, or maybe something in regards to school, or maybe something in regards to purchasing a certain item, I like to always have my hands involved. And my takeaway in all of this in regards to my journey is that I now need to not only still be able to keep my hands involved to a certain degree, but also do so in such a way where it actually allows some level of balance when it comes to when it comes to trusting God and allowing God to be God. And it's not saying that I never trusted God at all, but at the same time, you know, that human side of us has always, just always wanted to have full control. And I think for a lot of us, especially a lot of us who come from the business sector, we tend to have that mentality simply because it's what we're used to. And now, you know, taking more of a spiritual approach and knowing how to balance it. That's what I meant to say. Just knowing how to balance it all. I think that's the part that's the most rewarding. And again, it was one of those things where I personally began to realize, like, well, hell, why didn't I do this sooner, right? So I'm encouraging a lot of you guys to do the same. It's good to have that level of control when it comes to putting in that action, if you will. But at the same time, do so in such a way where you still don't lose sight of having faith in God and the spiritual realm when it comes to them working. Or as I like to mention, just sitting back and really watching them work as well. That is all for this quick video today, you guys. I would like to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I definitely want to welcome the newcomers to the channel. I am seeing you guys trickle in, and I just want you to know that I do see you and appreciate you. The consultations are still open as well. Tomorrow is going to be a madhouse. It's completely booked. But as for the coming weeks, definitely check the calendar if there's something that is of interest to you and would like to set up a session with me. I do want to point out, for those who are trickling in, welcome to the family. I do see you guys trickling in, and I want to let you know that I appreciate you as well. I do also want to point out that for those of you who are not aware, I'm actually in the field house when it comes to keynote speaking as well as motivational speaking. So if it is something that is of interest to you, like let's say you're a part of an organization, you have an event that's coming up, and you would love for me to come and partake in that experience with you all, have someone from the head of your organization to reach out to me where we can then go over the details and set up everything accordingly from there. That was a mouthful. It always is, but I try to get all those details in there for you all, especially the newcomers who are joining the bandwagon. But yes, just do know that, as always, you guys, I'm sending you off with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Be blessed.